On this episode of Making the Movie, meet Team America World Police.
Let's go police the world.
Freedom hangs from a thread.
Basically doing a huge Hollywood spectacle event movie, but with puppets.
You lose.
But when Team America comes to the rescue.
Team America is the world police.
And they live in Mount Rushmore and go around and fight world crime.
Fear not, Muslim friends. We're here to find terrorists.
No one is safe.
All the top actors in Hollywood are in this film, and they all get killed.
Plus, the world premiere of a scene from Team America World Police.
From the creators of South Park.
Now I will bring chaos to the world. I've got 5 terrorists going southeast on Bakalakadaka Street.
They're fighting to put the F back in freedom.
Hey, terrorist! Terrorize this.
Team America World Police.
Worker. Action. Get on the ground! Down on the ground!
Team America is the world police, and they have little world police on their jackets.
And they live in Mount Rushmore and go around and fight world crime.
They've got gadgets and ships, and they all kind of have their specialties. Like we have Chris, who's a martial arts expert.
Kia!
We have Joe, who's the guy from Iowa, who's like the quarterback, all-American kid.
We've got to split up and find the theater. Sarah, you and Gary go that way. Chris and I will go right.
You have Lisa, she's a terror psychologist, so she knows how the terrorist thinks.
God, I'm so confused.
And we have Sarah, who's a clairvoyant. She's an empath. She can read your mind from 50 yards.
I sense that you're slightly confused right now.
And then they bring on Gary, the hero, who's the actor.
This is crazy. I'm an actor, not a spy.
They go to Broadway to get an actor because that's all really spying is acting. You just dress up like somebody, you act like somebody to get information.
Hey, you don't need to see my credentials. I left them at home and I'm running late.
Bang dong. Ping pong.
My God, his acting is better than ever.
But really, they don't use any, they just go around shooting people.
Yeah, really, that's what I'm saying. Is there this conceit of like they have these specialties, but really they just go around shooting people.
Ping pong, ping pong.
What the hell?
This movie is just all about the sort of military might of America. You know, a lot of us, being Americans, have heard the phrase, you know, stop policing the world, and you think you're the world's police. And so we're like, well, let's just make that a totally real thing.
Let's go police the world.
Team America, they believe that the whole world just loves them and that they are just the cops that everybody needs.
They realize that they got to go deep undercover and stop the terrorists from planning their biggest attack ever.
I've got my pass right here. Ping pong, ping pong.
On set, I mean, Trey's the director. I mean, you know, he knows what's going on as far as everything the director has to do, and more because he's also, writing the script while he's doing it. He's also doing a lot of the voices.
Hans, we've been through this a dozen times. I don't have any weapons of mass destruction, okay, Hans?
And I'm doing second unit directing because there's so many little, like, effect shots and stuff in this movie.
I'm sorry I've been so hard on you. If there's still a world left when this is all over, I'd like to buy you a beer.
All right, cut. Half the time we're on set, we're trying to figure out what the hell the movie's about. And then the other half of the time, we have to deal with everything that has to do with doing a movie. But the schedule we're under doing this movie just means that there's like 8 million things to do every day. The big part of the movie is basically doing a huge Hollywood spectacle event movie, but with puppets. Like a Michael Bay film or a Jerry Bruckheimer film, like Armageddon or like The Day After Tomorrow, but all with puppets.
Put down your weapons now! Why can't they ever do this the easy way?
It was just like, wouldn't it be cool if someone did this now in this day and age of everything's computerized and everything's, CG? It's like, it'd be cool to just take a giant step backwards, sort of like the same way we do South Park animation. Just take it all a big step backward into the crap level.
You lose.
Our role and what people seem to respond to is us satirizing stuff.
Fear not, Muslim friends. We're here to find terrorists. I am clearing your minds of all anxiety.
You know, a lot of people that are going to go looking for, well, what are these guys actually saying? What's their point? We don't really have a point.
Oh, durka, durka, durka.
It's more supposed to be a movie about, here's what it's felt like to be an American for the last 2 years.
Some people out there want you dead.
Dead?
They're called terrorists, Gary, and they hate everything about you.
Why don't you go right here? When we started shooting this movie, we were just like, yeah, that could be easy. Like, just make a movie with puppets instead of actors, and that sounded great. But once we got into actually doing it, we realized it's really tough.
The Kyoto brothers built the puppets. The strings and the body motion are, are traditional marionette, but the head is about maybe the size of a grapefruit.
I'm Ed Kyoto, one of the 3 Kyoto brothers. We're working on Team America, the puppet movie to end all puppet movies. It's literally got a cast of hundreds of puppets to pull off the acting part of this movie. The heads have gotten very sophisticated.
Starting and action. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is really taking puppetry and actually this type of action-adventure movie to a new level. We kind of have a hybrid puppet. It's a traditional marionette. In fact, the bodies are jointed and hung from strings. But then we also have really sophisticated animatronic faces to handle all the facial articulation and lip sync.
Congratulations on a terrific performance.
Oh, thank you. I don't believe we've met, Mr.
The name is Spotswood.
We are controlling his facial animation, and we're bringing the emotion into the puppet heads. All the motors are servo motors that are very small. There's about 6 or 7 of them in each head. Like, one controls the jaw, one controls, we have a left and a right. We have the brows going up and down, and some lip articulation as well.
Yes. And finally, we have our psychology expert. Where's Lisa?
Right here.
The basic marionette, it takes several people to operate it depending on the gag. It takes one person above the puppet operating the strings. There's another puppeteer up there assisting him depending on how sophisticated the movements are.
You have Trey controlling the mouth, doing the lines. Then you have somebody on joysticks doing all the facial expressions. Sometimes we have, there's been scenes where we have 30 puppeteers operating puppets in one shot.
This is definitely not your average puppet movie.
Up next on Making the Movie, Matt and Trey take us inside their actor's studio.
The main reason we wanted to do puppets was just because we hate actors.
And pandemonium breaks in Panama.
The original ideas would be funny to see puppets drown.
Plus the world premiere of a scene
I really like you. There's no chance we can ever be together?
Only if you could promise me you'll never die.
You know I can't promise that.
If you did that, I would make love to you right now.
I promise I will never die.
Well, we treat acting a lot like the Force in the movie.
Acting's like the Force in the way the old Star Wars treated the Force.
Sort of this power that you have and you can harness, and you can either use it for good or you can use it for evil.
Susan surrendered!
All the top actors in Hollywood are in this film, and they all get killed. It's great.
But none of them are actually perform their own voice.
Right. And even if they wanted to, we wouldn't let them because they're bastards.
The celebrities that are in this movie, to my knowledge, are unaware that they're in the movie, nor has anybody asked their permission. That's kind of the South Park mode.
Tim Robbins, Sean Penn, Alec Baldwin over to his side.
The main reason we wanted to do puppets was just because we hate actors. Anytime you bring an actor in and they're just like, oh, how should I say this? And it's like it's written, like it's funny, and not like an idiot like you're saying it.
Corporations, they're all corporation-y. They're bad.
No matter how big or small the actor, they always just have, such an attitude and think that they're all rad.
Like me, Sean.
And, there's no lamer thing you can be in the world than an actor. It's the most self-serving. I'm just going off on a rant now. We just want to do a show that ripped on celebrities and how much people love celebrities, and because now we can have all the celebrities made into puppets and then we can kill them.
Beat. And action!
And cut!
This film doesn't look like any film that's gone before it, and so I think it's a breakthrough. We have have 100 sets in this movie. Some of them are huge. I mean, our Paris set was 70 feet by 90 feet. Considering the puppets are only 2 feet tall, we theoretically were doing all of Paris in model. What we came up with was every place in the world was the way America sees the world. So this isn't really Cairo, this is kind of the dumbed down version of what Americans might think Cairo is.
And we've sprinkled the sets with little references that are sort of like I guess a visual Where's Waldo, where if you pay attention to the movie, you'll see references to real scale. So sprinkled throughout all the sets, if you pay attention, there's real scale things that let you know that the marionettes are 2 feet tall.
Team America go all over the place. So it was basically starting in Paris, and then we go to New York, then we go to Mount Rushmore and the base, and then we go to North Korea, then we go to Cairo.
Panama Canal.
And then the Panama Canal.
The Panama Canal is just sort of a broad stroke Bruckheimer disaster sequence.
The Panama flood sequence is, I mean, what can you say? It's spectacular.
We had a big Panama set built, and then we had two 500-gallon dump tanks. These 2 big circular things, and they're full of water, and then they, on cue, just dump 1,000 gallons of water.
We have something like 20 puppets milling about along the Panama Canal. A guy in a raft, self-contained guy coming down the raft. And then
a big explosion goes off, and they dump this water, and it comes rushing down, and it crashes through the gates of the Panama Canal and wipes all the puppets out with hopefully as much puppet carnage as possible, because Trey and Matt love seeing puppets get hurt.
Just this deluge of water that comes at us, taking out all our puppets constantly, then going back, resetting them, drying them out, actually literally wringing the puppets out so we can get them prepped for another shot.
That was like one of the original ideas. It would be funny to see puppets get flooded and drown. Puppets drowning would be funny. So eventually we got to realize our dream in Panama.
The minute you focus on this thing in the foreground, it looks fake. Up to this point, I'll buy it.
Scott Rudin, the producer, said, I think we should get Bill Pope to shoot this. And we're like, okay, who's Bill Pope? And he's like, well, he shot The Matrix. And we're just like, what? Like, why would he do
He's not
this?
gonna do
Like,
this movie.
he's probably one of the biggest cinematographers in Hollywood.
I love South Park. I love this script. And they said,
I think it's with puppets.
That was my first question. Why don't you hire somebody who does miniatures? Because I don't know anything about miniatures.
So we said, man, you don't have to sully your career with this work. And he said, no, I don't want to. I want to sully my career. He said, all right.
I read it, and it was the hilariously funny script. And I called him up and said, let's do this.
He said explicitly, like, I'm so sick of shooting, green screen. I'm so sick of shooting CG stuff.
The idea of shooting everything practical and a real explosion on a real little car and, and all this was as appealing to him as it was to us.
Action. There's so many strings. When you put 10 puppets in a room, it's hard to see the puppets. There's so many strings. It becomes really annoying. We forget about overhead lighting, and you can forget about backlighting because it lights the strings, and the overhead lighting blocks the marionette strings. And we bring in the condors to puppeteer from. We had to build lights underneath the condors so we didn't have shadows of the condors.
We're doing some Matrix-style stuff because the puppets obviously can very easily go up and stay up in the air and stuff like that. And I was like, we'll do that thing. We got to do that thing. He goes up in the air, and then we'll go whoosh and come around. He's like, how do we do that? And I was just like, you shot The Matrix, dude. You tell me how we do that. And he was just like, well, we need computers and stuff.
The helicopter shots, it's just a photograph, a flat, big photograph spread out on the table. And we put a few, sprigs of parsley in it, and maybe the Eiffel Tower. That's the only thing that sticks up out of the photograph. Well, I've done action movies. This is an action movie. We treat it seriously. But one of the great things about working at a scale is you can bring in a 50-foot technocrane and make what is the equivalent of a 150-foot move across huge spaces.
We didn't even really know what a technocrane was until we started doing this movie. And he was like, we'll get a technocrane up here. We'll do this whole thing. We'll move back. We're like, you can do that?
Well, why don't we get way up here and go all the way back to this? And Bill's like, well, because that would be like in real world, that'd be like a 120-yard technocrane that doesn't exist. And we're like, that's why we should do it. That'd be sweet.
One of the difficult parts of doing this movie is that puppets are 22 inches tall. So that means you need little clothes and obviously little chairs and little cars. And that meant that everything kind of had to be planned out a lot more ahead of time than we're really used to, in doing an animated show, South Park.
And Jeep.
We sort of don't do action. Even in terms of writing it, we're like, how do you do this stuff?
Don't let them get away!
But then also trying to do that with a puppet, you're very limited. If you want a puppet getting run over, no problem. But, if you want a puppet running and saying, get over here, we're going this way, that'll take you all day.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait. Hold on. I need a new eardrum.
Because it's, you know, all done on a third scale of puppets, you have to build everything. So in other words, like we can't say, go buy a baseball bat. You have to make a baseball bat. You know, you have to make a little gun. You have to make a little Jeep. So everything has to be made custom.
There's probably at least 20 vehicles in this film of different scales. Originally, this design came together by us starting with the civilian H-2, but then all of a sudden guns pop out of the front, and then these rockets pop out of the back, and then the engines pop out, and there's no seatbelts, no airbags in this vehicle, safety's for wimps. They just would be running through everything and not have to worry about it, because they're going to run over anybody that's in their way.
This is the World Police. Pull your vehicle over to a stop.
And put your hands on your heads.
Coming up on Making the Movie, this bad guy's got a soft side.
If you read anything about Kim Jong-il, he is a fascinating figure.
And Team America comes with a warning.
Stay away.
I don't want you to come to our movie if you don't want to see it.
There's more important things to do than see movies.
Plus the world premiere of a scene from Team America, World Police.
How's it going? I'm John Norris with an MTV News Brief. Well, it's hard to believe, but the masterminds behind South Park just may have found a solution for nuclear weapons. In their latest film, Team America World Police, Trey Parker and Matt Stone managed to assemble a pack of puppet heroes willing to sacrifice not only their lives, but their strings as well. The comedic satire is based around current political issues dealing with, among other things, speculation that North Korea possesses weapons of mass destruction. So, what did Kim Jong-il say when Hans Blix confronted him?
One more time?
Hans, we've been through this a dozen times. I don't have any weapons of mass destruction, okay, Hans?
Then let me look around so I can ease the UN's collective mind. I'm sorry, but the UN must be firm with you. Let me see your whole palace or else.
Or else what?
Well, apparently Team America had to delete an especially hardcore sex scene just to make an R rating. If the puppet love scene had stayed, the Motion Picture Association of America would have given it an NC-17. But there's always the DVD to look forward to. That is the news for now. Stick around for more at 10 to the hour right here on MTV.
Congratulations, Team America! You have stopped nothing.
If you read anything about Kim Jong-il, he is a fascinating figure.
We actually didn't even do him justice. We really thought he'd make a great puppet, and we always had this idea of Kim Jong-il singing a song about him being lonely.
Lonely, so lonely, so lonely inside real wrong.
Once we decided he was our villain, everyone really jumped on it because it was something they could really, they all started reading about him, and he has so many of these great quirks that people just picked up on.
There's a scene where he shoots his translator in the head for not quite translating the way he would like him to translate. And I decided that Kim Jong-il just really wanted to be a gangster rapper, so I decided that the best handgun for Kim Jong-il would be an Israeli-made Desert Eagle that was nickel-plated, because I just wanted him to have the biggest gangster gat he could possibly have to shoot this puppet in the head with.
He is a huge movie buff. Kim Jong-il has directed a few movies in North Korea. And when Madeleine Albright went to North Korea in 1998, I think it was, he put on a big show for her in this big stadium in Pyongyang. He choreographed it all and wrote the music.
And so that's what we based the third act on, was basically like him having this big show. And
I think people will think we made it up, his love for drama and musicals, but we didn't. It's absolutely true. He probably will see this movie and cry.
My dream is that if we can get I'm So Lonely nominated for an Oscar, that he comes and performs it.
Seems like no one takes me seriously.
Joe to Spotswood. Mission accomplished.
Great job, team. Head back to base for debriefing and cocktails.
From the very beginning, it's like we make stuff for us and our family and our friends. I'm just trying to make Matt laugh, and Matt's trying to make me laugh. So I'd say if you want to stay away, stay away.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably I don't want you to come to our movie if you don't want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, there's more important things to do than see movies. If it's going to trip you out before you even see it, then definitely stay away.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now, the world premiere of Team America World Police.
What would you do if you were
for freedom. What would you do?
Hey, weren't you the actor in that Broadway show? Hey, yeah, it is you. Do that scene where everyone gets AIDS. I don't act anymore. I gave that up. But come on, man, just a scene.
I said get away from me! I'm completely lost! I've hit rock bottom. All right, that does it. Get out of here, you drunk lowlife! Get out of here, I said! Lisa! Lisa! Lisa, are you here? Get out of the street, you f***ing bum! You gave up on life, didn't you? Ugh.